Welcome back, everybody, to Crime and Plastic.
Your favorite true crime.
Look at that. I'm wearing the same thing I was wearing last week. Scrubs and a blue hat.
He's going to tell that joke every week.
I was in the middle of introducing our
Yes, tell it.
podcast.
Introduce it.
Your favorite true crime podcast that may or may not have all the facts and
It's very well researched on Google.
No, we have all the facts that we have available to us.
Yes,
at
in the
this
time
moment
allotted.
as we're
from a very short time of researching, I leave some stones unturned.
But that's
We're
what
all
makes
stones.
it better for the listeners. They can overturn those extra stones.
Yes. Please do, actually.
You don't want all the stones overturned. You want some for the listeners to
we're
overturn
literally
themselves.
like a synopsis.
Yes,
like,
we're the Wikipedia of Crime and Plastic. The short and sweet version.
the thing is, the reason why these stories are like this is because not enough attention is paid to crime and plastic. Like news outlets don't cover a lot of plastic surgery and crime related things.
There's not a lot of details.
So we don't have the details because they're not even giving us the details.
Right. We would have to commit the crimes ourselves to know the details.
We'd have to work for the Miami PD and fuck no.
Okay.
Or the PD of whatever fucking place.
So this.
Wait, plastic surgery news of the world.
Sorry.
Do you have?
You still
yes, always. There's always plastic surgery.
Okay, so
news of the
what
world.
do we have today?
Utah plastic surgeon charged with assault, domestic violence, in presence of a child.
Okay.
A Utah plastic surgeon
Is he Mormon?
has been charged with assault and domestic violence in the presence of a child.
Okay.
Preston Daniel Ward, 47, faces 5 misdemeanor counts stemming from 2 incidents during the past several weeks, according to court documents. There's his picture, Dr. Ward. Looks like a doctor.
He looks like a wart.
Well,
Ward.
the story I'm going to tell happens in Utah also.
Oh, good. According to charging documents, he reportedly held a woman down during an argument and forced a gun into her hand that he unsuccessfully tried to fire 3 times into his own head.
Who is this woman?
Oh my God, men are so dramatic. Just leave.
He threw her to the ground, causing her to strike her head on the tile floor, pushed her against a bench, which caused her head to hit the window. In both instances, a child was nearby.
I don't think that the child being nearby is the bigger crime there.
But
I guess it increases the. I guess that's a separate charge.
That's
it's
assault
an aggravating
aggravated
detail.
thing.
But wait, who is the woman? It was like his girlfriend, his wife, his just.
It does say he's taking a necessary medical leave until the end of January 2024, so that's good.
Okay.
Unnecessary medical leave.
To prepare for his trial.
He's also an adjunct professor at the University of Utah.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Wait, so you're saying he forced a woman to hold a gun while he tried to shoot it into himself?
I don't know.
Is he trying to
he's
set
like-
her up for the murder?
Yeah, trying to force her to kill him?
Like I said, they don't give a lot of details
The
when it comes to
details are
plastic surgery
scant.
crime, but that's what we have for this week.
That's
Yes.
an insane
We'll look into it. Now, what's your story, Rosie?
So my story also happens in Utah.
Oh.
It is about Michelle. Sorry. This is about Michelle Summers McNeel. She married Martin. Michelle Summers married Martin McNeel when she was 21 years old. They married in Utah. They both met at a young Mormon singles event.
Nice.
Michelle was a beauty queen, model.
Oof.
Did you just say nice?
Yeah.
Okay.
What?
I like the thought of young love blossoming at a singles event at 21. I think that's a beautiful thing.
So then,
I mean, it's not like meeting in the staircase behind Liv or something. I mean, it's,
So then they got Martin was a doctor and a lawyer.
What?
And he practiced.
He was a doctor and a lawyer?
How old was he?
I don't know at the time when she was 21. I think he was young also. I don't think they were that far apart in age. So they had 4 children in 5 years, and then they adopted 4 children.
I love them.
3 are from the Ukraine, and 1 is actually their grandchild. One of their older daughters had a child.
Out of
young.
wedlock?
I think so. So they adopted her.
Okay, wait. We just passed over a lot of years very fast.
No, I mean not
They
that.
got married. She was 21.
Only 5 years.
They had 4 kids in
Yeah.
5 years.
And then they
They
adopted.
adopted 4 more, but it couldn't be in that same 5-year period because the
No,
older
they
one has
had
to grow up.
they have grown children and small children at
Got
this
it.
time.
Understood.
So then, when Michelle is 50 years old,
Mm.
she decides to have a facelift.
Okay, fair enough.
And she gets a facelift from Dr. Scott Thompson.
So
You know?
not her husband.
No, not her. Her husband's not a surgeon, a plastic
I thought you said
surgeon.
her husband was a doctor.
Not a plastic
Doesn't mean
surgeon.
the plastic
Oh,
surgeon.
sorry, I got
Said he practiced
confused. So
psychiatry.
he's not the
No.
protagonist. He's not the plastic surgeon in the story.
No, he's not the plastic surgeon in the story.
He is just a doctor, lawyer,
Yes. He's a
And-
doctor, lawyer, husband, father.
father.
And then at 50 years old,
The wife decides to get a facelift.
Yeah.
I'm following now. Go
They
ahead.
have a facelift. She goes to Dr. Scott Thompson in Utah. She gets a facelift. And her daughter, Alexis, is actually in medical school because she's trying to follow in her father's footsteps of being a doctor.
Uh-huh.
So she comes home for the week to help take care of her mom and the small, because they still have small children. The adopted children are smaller.
Right.
They live in the house. And so she helps take care of her mom that week, and her
Yeah.
mom is doing well. So she goes back home.
Mhm.
And then on April 11th, Martin, the husband, takes his young daughters to school.
Mhm.
He comes home, and Michelle is face down in the bathtub. And then he tries to, he was at the time apparently like ill, like he was using a walker because he had some I think cancer or some illness he was recovering from.
Oh.
So he tried to get her out of the tub, tried to CPR, called 911, told his young daughter to go like get the neighbor to come help.
Ay, ay,
Ambulance
ay.
comes. Too late. Michelle drowned in her tub.
Okay. What year is this happening, by
This
the way?
is in 2007.
2007.
Yes.
And how far after the facelift was it?
A week.
Just a week after the facelift, she drowns in her own bathtub.
Yep.
Very strange.
Yes. So then they do an autopsy. They say that she died from cardiovascular disease.
Oh, heart attack.
Heart
Okay.
attack. And in combination with taking her painkillers, she drowned, and it was just determined an accident. So going.
Well, it can't be the husband. He's a walker.
Well,
He's recovering from cancer.
We're gonna find out what happened.
Okay.
This
But
is
he is a lawyer. Lawyers are crafty.
So he then at the funeral, woman comes to the funeral. Her name is Gypsy.
Serious question. Was it an open casket?
I don't know.
Because you had the facelift.
I, don't know.
She probably looked good.
I have no
Maybe
idea.
the swelling wasn't even gone down by then.
It
It's
looks
only a week.
Facelifts look great that first week. That first week, you'll never look younger than you look that first week after a facelift.
'cause
Because
of
the
the
swelling actually makes you look younger.
Yeah. So this person, Gypsy, comes to the funeral.
A person.
Yes. And this woman, she comes to the funeral. Gypsy.
She's
Was it
not a gypsy.
Gypsy?
She's
No,
her name is Gypsy. Okay,
Gypsy
just-
Jillian.
I'm making sure.
Oh, wasn't Gypsy Rose Blanchard?
And then she comes and talks to them, and then a few weeks later, she ends up Martin ends up hiring her to be the nanny for his small children. This gypsy lady. So now we're gonna go back. Yes.
Whoa.
So now we're gonna go-
it's not looking
Yes.
now.
So now we're gonna rewind. So now I told you kind of like the general like story
Like from the outside.
from the outside.
Now we're gonna go the inside.
We're gonna go. Yeah, we're gonna back up. So again, from the outside, they look like this perfect, happy couple. Even there's pictures of them at 50. They're very good looking. Like
Mormon.
all that stuff. They had children. They were happy.
Adopted
They were
children.
married for 30 years.
30 years. It's almost as
and
long
then
as me.
all of a sudden, like a couple, like a year, like the year that she's getting the facelift, Martin becomes like very like into working out.
Martin
and
is the husband.
husband, yeah, is like very into his fitness and wants to look good and da da da. And
Never a good thing.
yes. So
Never a good thing when the husband wants to suddenly look good.
And then
It's so true.
It's true.
Mich-
Men should just fall off the cliff. They should just forget it. You had your shot. Done.
So then Michelle,
It's never leads to good things.
yeah, Michelle starts to get suspicious. Like, what is going on? Like, he's she's like asking him if he's having an affair, and he's telling her no. And then he's like, And then he's the one who puts in the idea in her head to get a facelift. She doesn't. She's not.
Really?
Yeah, she's not even into plastic surgery. She's like very wasn't her thing, but he kind of like starts gaslighting her, like, oh, maybe you want to do something too, like maybe you want to get facelift, da 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 da. And then so she goes to see Dr. Thompson,
How devious.
and she gets the consult, and then even up until and then when he's at the when she goes to get the facelift on the way there, she even says because she's a little bit overweight and she has high blood pressure, and she said like, really, I want to postpone it because I want to get this stuff under control before I get surgery. He's like, no, he's like, if you're not going to do it now, you're never going to do it. So he kind of like pressures her to do the surgery. And then when she gets there, he also asked the doctor to give him diazepam and a couple of other painkillers that the doctor that the surgeon didn't normally prescribe. But since her husband was a doctor, he kind of just like deferred to what he wanted.
Right.
Oh,
like-
I forget that he's a doctor.
I
he's
do
like-
that sometimes, actually.
So he's
Like, I do that sometimes.
So yeah, so the doctor.
Like
do
nurses,
what?
doctors, they'll ask, like, can you give me this and this? Because this works for me better. And I'm like,
Right.
okay, fine.
So like specifically like pressured him. He's like, okay, fine, if that's what you want, da da da. And then the daughter, the first day after surgery, Alexis is the oldest daughter, the one who's in medical school, who came to take care of her.
Do I know had the baby or no?
No, that's a different daughter.
Different daughter.
But this daughter is already, I think, married at this time. She's like
Right.
22. She's in medical school. And she said first of all, the night after the surgery, he didn't want her to stay over, like, they had them stay overnight in the hospital, and he didn't want her to. He wanted to bring her home. But
The doctor husband.
the husband, yeah, Martin.
Suspicious.
And Alexis was like, no, let's keep her in the hospital. So she stayed that one night. And then the first night that she stayed at home, Alexis came to check on her in the morning, and she was unresponsive. And she was like, what happened? What happened? She asked her dad. He's like, oh, I might have over medicated her. And she was like, stop giving her medicine. Like, you're not taking care of her medicine. Like, I'll take care of it. I'll whatever. And then her mom tells her, like, I want you to put the pills in my hand so I could feel what they're supposed to feel like and what I'm supposed to take, because I think your father is giving me medicine I don't need. So she has her daughter like let her feel like all the different pills, so she knows like this is what I'm supposed to take, this is what I'm supposed to take. Then when she's giving her mother, I think she's getting her dressed or giving her a bath or helping her. Michelle tells her daughter, if anything happens to me, make sure your father didn't do it.
Make sure your father didn't do it. Like, in other words, look at him first.
Yes. So then
Wow.
the morning
But
that
it's also like if your mom says that to you, like if you're having that conversation, like something needs to be done.
yeah. Well, she thought her mom. I mean, to her dad. She didn't. She like liked her dad. She didn't think anything of it. She was like, "Mom, you're just being crazy. Like, what are you saying?" And
Maybe
then,
you're under the influence of the pills when you
Right.
say something stupid.
So then she stayed the full week. Her mom was recovering fine. She went home.
A week after a facelift, you're pretty much normal.
Yeah, so she said she was fine. She was
Yeah.
like up on her own. Like she thought she was okay to leave her. So she went back to school. And she said when her dad called her that you need to come home because something happened with your mom, she said she was driving to the airport, she was screaming, "My dad killed my mom." It was like the first thing in her head, like that
Really?
she knew her dad did it. And then it turns out like she goes and talks to her mom's family. Her mom's family, because she thought her parents had a great marriage, like she didn't think anything was wrong. Her mom's family hated him. They didn't want them to get married. That apparently, like when they were first married or something, like he was looking at pornography, which is a big no for Mormons to look at pornography.
By the way, Utah is has the most pornography traffic on
Well-
the internet. I saw it once in one of those pie charts.
And
I thought you were gonna say like Utah has the most Mormons.
No, it has the most highest porn traffic
So-
for some reason. Utah is like
and he
the
had
porn.
like this crazy reaction, and was like he was like threatened to kill himself if like she told on him and da da da.
Yeah,
And he
porn's
was very-
addictive.
And he was very
It's
controlling of her,
hard to break.
like to the point that they even eloped because they didn't elope because
Because of the porn?
no, they eloped because her family was against the marriage. So that's
Because of the porn.
Yeah, I guess. I don't
Okay.
know. Or just they said he was very controlling and they just didn't like him.
Right.
And they wanted her to get married to him. And then she
Well, he has to be like really fucked up because typically parents like if you say like, "Oh, I'm marrying a doctor and a lawyer," they're like, "Oh my god, yes,"
I
and
know.
they'll overlook a bunch of other things because
Yes.
so he has to be really fucked up for them to overlook like the two really big degrees.
yeah.
Yes.
So then um the daughter Alexis and the mother's sister, the Michelle's sister, are like really pushing that they think the
The
dad
dad
did
did it.
something, and they know that she found out that her mother thought that he was cheating, and she looks at like phone records and she finds that he has been calling the same person again and again, and she asks who it is, and the name is Jillian, and it's that
Gypsy.
Gypsy Jillian, the one who came to the funeral, who's now the nanny. That was the one he's been calling, like before the surgery, like before she died and all this stuff. Who he's having an affair with. So
It turns out that was true.
yeah, he invited her. He hired her as a nanny to live in the house, but she did nothing. Like she didn't cook, she didn't clean, she didn't take care of the kids.
Well, I don't know if she did nothing.
No, I'm saying she did nothing.
For the kids.
She didn't do anything that nannies
Jail.
typically do. And then when Alexis started questioning him, like, how dare you bring this woman into the house? Like, she wanted to take the kids. He kicked her out of the house and she couldn't come back. So, and then she had to like pretend to apologize so that he would let her in the house, because she wanted to keep an eye on the kids.
Right.
And then Jillian has,
How old is Jillian? Just out of curiosity.
I think she's like in her 30s.
Right.
So then,
And he's been working out.
I thought she
looking
was
good.
in medical school though.
no, Alexis.
No, Jillian is the gypsy.
Jillian is the
The
mistress.
gypsy Jillian.
Oh, sorry.
Jillian is the mistress. Alexis is the daughter.
Yeah.
So wait, who's the one who got kicked out?
The daughter.
Alexis.
Oh,
He
okay.
kicked
okay.
the daughter out.
Yeah, that's what I thought, but then I got
Yeah.
their names.
So
confused.
Why would he
then-
kick his nanny out?
I don't know.
Plus, she does all those things.
So then Alexis, Jillian had apparently large debt to. Also, what happens in the house? Sorry, is Alexis says that she woke up one night and that her dad was abusing her basically when she woke up and was touching her and
Oh,
all
when
this
she
stuff.
was younger.
No, just this time when she came back to live.
Abusing her in what way?
She said his hands were in her pants when she woke up.
What?
Yeah, he was like sexually abusing her. Like she woke up from her, and then
Oh.
he said, "Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were your mom. Like I'm just whatever. Like something horrible.
Oh,
So-
that's horrible.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
horrible.
this guy's a terrible person.
Terrible person." So
I
then,
thought he was just like a regular sleazebag.
No,
but
no, no,
he's a
he's-
murderer and a child abuser.
yes.
His
Terrible.
own child abuser. Ew.
So then what? So
was
Jillian,
she? Wait, I don't know. This doesn't make it better. But was she like an adopted child?
no, Alexis is his
No,
biological
that's the
daughter.
biological one, the oldest
His
one.
biological daughter. And then Jillian gets she has apparently like this huge IRS debt, and
The gypsy?
yeah, the gypsy. One of the adopted daughters, she goes back to Ukraine to visit her biological family, just for a trip, like not to go, like not to move back to Ukraine. She goes for a trip. While she's there, Martin takes her identity and gives it to Jillian so that so that she could like somehow get out of her debt that she has with like he gives her a new identity so that she could like not have to pay her IRS debt.
Got it.
And then when the daughter from the Ukraine, I can't remember her name right now, she tries to get back. He had like taken her passport and stuff, so she got stuck in the Ukraine while he stole her identity for his mistress.
Wow, that's pretty evil.
Horrible. So finally,
The poor mom is dead.
finally the girl from the Ukraine comes back,
Yeah.
and then they get him on identity fraud. So he gets accused, and he gets 3 years in prison
Really?
for identity theft. And then
But there must have been more to it. Like the prosecutor was probably looking for the murder and couldn't get the evidence.
yeah. So and then Jillian, she gets like probation for the identity theft of the
That's what I'm saying.
daughter.
How does he get identity theft, but she's the one who took the identity and she has probation?
Well, I think because I
I
think
think
he's
the
the one who
prosecu-
maneuvered it all and whatever.
I think the prosecutors wanted him for murder, so they
No,
were
I
like
feel
going
you,
hard
but-
for him.
so.
So he's in prison for 3 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then Alexis and the sister, they try to get the case reopened to get them to re-examine the autopsy and all of that. And then they said that so it was eventually reopened. A toxicologist took a look at the toxicology report from the autopsy and said that Michelle's blood contained Valium, Percocet, Phenergan, and Ambien in concentrations likely to render her severely obtunded and difficult to arouse. So then, he switched the cause of death from natural causes to undetermined. So that
Right.
was like
Beginning of opening the case.
yes. So then they looked into Martin's background,
Uh huh.
and they said that his entire life was a lie.
What?
In his 20s, he wrote fraudulent checks to fund a lavish lifestyle. He was convicted of forgery and grand theft and spent 180 days in prison. And when he was released, he went to medical school, and they discovered that he falsified transcripts to get into medical school. And they said,
I was gonna say, how
Did
do
he
you get into medical
graduate? Did he
school with no
graduate?
bachelor's?
what?
Did he graduate?
He did graduate, but it was false. And I think he did the same thing in law school.
Really?
Um,
How can you do both?
You
then
can.
when he was, so
But by
then,
so young,
Yeah.
one is like a lot of years, and the other one is 3 years. You can't do them at the same time.
No.
so
it's hard to
then,
do 'em the same
then
time.
when he was in prison, for the identity theft, he apparently bragged to his cellmates that he killed his wife, and then also,
Rookie move.
and
Rookie
then
move.
also he
He's
had told
literally a lawyer. What's wrong
he
with
had
him?
told Gypsy that, because he's obviously crazy. He told Gypsy that he kind of bragged to her like, oh, I can make it look like somebody had a heart attack, and like basically he could kill someone and make it look like it was a heart attack. That
And
he
so
didn't-
Gypsy told people this?
yeah, Gypsy also like told confessed to this. And then also they they had one son that he had told him to, his son and his girlfriend were there that morning when Michelle was dead in the bathtub, and he had told him to hide the
Medicine.
the medicines.
Yeah.
He claimed because he didn't want people to know she had a facelift. Like he
Right.
was just trying to cover up her facelift. So he had the son do that. And there was still some suspicion that the son maybe like helped him with the murder too. As the son was also they said homicidal tendencies.
How
The son-
how do they determine that?
I don't know. That's what someone wrote a letter to his school that he was a dangerous person and that he had homicidal tendencies. The son ends up killing himself right after
They
that.
said that.
Wait a minute.
They
wait a-
wrote that letter
Who
before or after his
can I-
mom died.
Without spoiling the ending,
After,
who put her in the tub?
who do you think?
The husband?
So
Who would have put her in the tub? Hello?
I don't know if she tripped or like.
no, so he
made it-
basically he drugged her, and then
But he was with a walker recovering from.
that was a lie.
was all a lie.
They looked at his medical records, no cancer, no illness, nothing.
No.
What
So
a
the-
psycho.
So then he gave her the medicine
People are
to
crazy.
knock her out, and then kind of like put her in the tub, and then he went to school. He
Right.
went to take the daughter, so he kind of like was seen in like had an alibi.
Yeah.
But really, he did all this before that he was supposed to talk somewhere also in like a hospital. So he kind of like made himself be seen around
Right.
the time this would have happened.
Right.
But really, he planned the whole thing. So he gaslit his wife to have surgery so that he could use that as a cover up to kill her.
Right.
And he went to jail. He was convicted, and he killed himself in prison.
What a loser.
Isn't that a crazy story?
Santine, I think your ears need surgery.
Too late,
And I'm
mother-
talking next Tuesday at a hospital. I think we should schedule it
Too
right
late,
now.
motherfucker. You had your chance in
I had my
October.
chance.
You
I
had your
had my
chance in
chance. I had my
October. And it was Halloween. You could have blamed it on
Yes,
the
anything.
spooky season.
Yeah.
Wait, but so
And look at her. She
the
didn't.
father
Like, she
killed him.
looked good. She didn't even really need a facelift.
Can I see?
The father killed himself.
That is such an evil dude.
and
so
the
what?
son killed
So
himself.
what happened?
Yeah.
They
Both killed him.
killed himself.
Yeah, they both killed him. But he killed himself like 2 years in prison after his 2-year sentence. Like he was sentenced to longer, but when he was in prison in 2013, he killed himself
In prison.
in prison.
And
yeah.
the son?
The son killed himself.
Not in prison.
Not in prison. In school, I think. This is Martin and Gypsy.
She looks like Gypsy Rose Blanchard.
Let me see. Let me see.
Yeah,
Gypsy.
she was 34.
Oh man.
One of their
How-
daughters has a
th-
severe
I mean,
bob.
How people
Yeah.
fuck up their lives.
She has a fuck ass bob.
Yeah.
Let me see the mom, Michelle.
I fuck with it though. I bet you she's the one of them from the Ukraine
Let me see.
with that bob.
Look,
That-
she's beautiful.
That's a Slavic bob.
This is them
Yeah.
younger.
Yeah.
My
They're
brother's
beautiful
ex-girlfriend.
family.
Beautiful family.
My brother's ex-girlfriend's mom, who's also from the Ukraine, has a fuck ass bob just like that.
I mean, like, guys, don't have affairs. You're gonna end up hanging yourself.
Oh,
in
she's
prison.
so pretty.
She's so pretty. I know. She's beautiful.
She's
the,
so pretty.
the mom. Yeah.
Yeah. Even I mean, not even at 50, she didn't even really look like she needed a facelift.
No,
This guy has like literally serial killer eyes.
he does.
He
Yeah,
doesn't look like he has eyelids to blink.
it's crazy. Do you listen to a true crime podcaster, McKenna something? something McKenna.
Is that the one who does makeup?
I don't know. Maybe.
I
I
listened.
first heard the story on her podcast. That's where it came up on my Google, and I was like, "Holy shit!" And they did a bunch of like Dateline stories on it in 2020.
My favorite podcast, Morbid, just covered Ash Robinson and
Really?
No
yeah.
way.
Did they do it
They
better
did
than
a
me?
2-part series. I didn't listen to it because
They
I already
couldn't
know
have
the
done it
case.
better than us. Blood, oil,
That
and
was
plastic.
actually one that I actually researched. I read a 400-page book on it, and it was 4 episodes. I spent a lot of time on that one.
The thing is that I
Yes.
didn't listen to it because I obviously already know the story. But then I had a growing suspicion that maybe they listened to our podcast.
Maybe.
I'm sure they did.
I'm like,
Can we have guests on the podcast?
Megan, can we have guests?
You think?
What do we need to have a
I
guest?
want to have like a sociopath on. I feel like
Tom-
their
Can
we have-
perspective would
can
be
we
very
have
interesting.
Can we have a guest in like by Zoom and stuff?
Ooh.
if Tom is available.
From prison. That would be great.
Hey, Tom.
I think we're gonna need to start having guests because we need
You know
like,
what's so funny?
other perspectives.
Okay, can we
Yeah.
close out this this episode with a listener tale?
Yes.
Sure, yeah. You got one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So here I'm gonna read it to you exactly how she said it. So my aunt Susie married no, it has to be a Hispanic name. Hold on. My aunt
Susie could be
Sof-
Hispanic.
Susana?
Susie? No. How about Sophia? My aunt Sophia married a horrible man. He's white and we're Hispanic/mixed. And at the wedding, I knew they'd get divorced when I heard his friends say he was marrying some ugly Mexican because her family has drug money. No, my grandparents have rental properties and investments, but my aunt Sophia is not conventionally attractive. So she's like, no, we don't have cartel monies, but yes, my aunt is a little ugly. Anyway. Okay, so
like 2 out of 5 stars, true.
so she said, my uncle Tom, the gringo,
Okay.
cheats on Aunt Sophia with every pretty young nanny he can import from other countries. The divorce is humiliating and a huge drawn-out legal battle. Everyone chipped in to help pay for the legal expenses, and Uncle Tom sued her for half of every loan or gift that she received.
Oh shit.
Which is kind of crazy. I didn't know you could do that. He was literally going after every member of the family's money like he was a hooker who couldn't be paid off. Even home invasion robbers only hit your house once. So as you can imagine, my Aunt Sophia's looks suffered during this divorce and custody battle, and it didn't help that Uncle Tom paraded his current younger passport girlfriend at every court hearing.
I like that passport girlfriend.
So Aunt Sophia decided to get some work done, but she was broke from the divorce, so she asked each family member to help with a mortgage payment so she wouldn't lose the house.
Oh wow.
That's nice.
The only asset she didn't lose in the divorce, because she lost the wedding china, the wedding ring, and her dress,
What a dick.
was the house. So she really wanted to keep it. So she asked everyone to contribute. She asked everyone to keep the loan a secret. But then 2 months later, she showed up to the family house with a mommy makeover and laser treatments on her face.
So she used the money for plastic
And
surgery.
the entire family erupted. My dad took a tamale off the plate and threw it at her during the commotion. I live for my abuela's sweet tamales, so when I was enjoying the chisme, I was livid. She paid back everyone over time, but was never trusted again. Now she doesn't show up to holidays and moved to another state. It was the only way to get her ex to leave us all alone.
Whoa. Do we think it's a crime?
No.
Wait,
she defrauded them.
She did
No,
defraud her
I
family.
feel like he's the criminal.
Yeah.
He's
The
definitely,
original
yeah.
guy with the.
but in different circumstances, that would have been fraud.
It
Yeah.
is.
Defrauded
No,
her
it's
family,
definitely
but
fraud.
it's still her family.
What happened to her house? She lost her house.
I don't know.
She's
whatever
like, fuck
happened to
that
her."
house. I need plastic surgery.
She was
Really?
like, fuck the house.
It was the
My
house I live in. My body is the house I live in. Okay, it is a mortgage.
I bet
payment.
if she would have just told the truth, they would have given her the money too. Like, I don't care about the house, but I need to get this plastic surgery.
I mean, these people are dishing out money, though.
Yeah.
They dished out for the legal.
That reminds me, I just
expenses.
got a text before we started this podcast. My lady that I did a revenge body on 3 years ago,
Uh-huh.
and she just sent me, "You and your team forever changed my life."
Aw.
Yeah, she had 3 years post, and still rocking that revenge body.
Nice.
Yeah,
Awesome.
revenge body's a real thing.
So there you have it. using plastic surgery as a cover up to commit a crime. That's a new one.
That is a new one. I don't think
Wait.
we've had that
He-
before.
Well,
he-
we had that.
Oh, we did that with the narco guy, where they did plastic surgery and killed him when he was under.
Yes, but this was
Similar.
similar, but he kind of used it as a to get away with murder.
Well, I
Right.
suspect that other guy did that as well. The one who operated on his wife after hours,
Oh yeah.
and then she suspiciously died.
Well, let's see. They're still investigating that.
We're
No
sti-
charges have been
yes.
filed.
Oh well,
we'll
the charges
find
have been
out.
filed by me in the court court of public opinion.
We shall see. All right, thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you next week.
Have a
Bye,
great week.
guys.
Bye.
Stay beautiful.